Myself, Dr. M. Ashwini, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Nutrition and Dietetics at St.Josephs College of Arts and Science for Women, Autonomous, Osur. Here I am going to take a subject on food science. In this video, I am going to discuss in detail on composition of milk. Before going into composition, we have to know what is milk. Milk is nothing but it is a complex mixture of lipid, carbohydrate, protein and many other organic compounds and inorganic salt dissolved or dispersed in water. The composition of milk are fat, protein. In that protein we have two protein, one is casein and another one is whey protein, and third one is carbohydrate, minerals, enzymes, color, flavor and aroma. First we have to going to see that of fat. Fat. Buffalo milk contains 6.5% of fat. Cow's milk contains 4.1% of fat, whereas the fat content is high in buffalo milk when compared to cow's milk. Milk fat or butter fat is greater economical and nutritive value. The flavor of milk is due to the presence of milk fat. Milk is a true emulsion of oil in water. The fat globules are stabilized by a surrounding membrane composed of protein, phospholipids and cholesterol. The fat globules we can't able to see through our eyes. It can be viewed only through under the microscope. Each fat globules is surrounded by a thin layer which is composed of lipid protein complex and a small amount of carbohydrate. The lipid portion include both phospholipids and triglyceride. The fat globule size varies from 2 to 10 micrometer and in number it is 3 into 10 to the power of 9 per ml. The larger fat globules comes to the surface of milk more quickly due to its low specific gravity, and this can be observed in transportation of milk. Milk fat is a mixture of several glycerides. This contain about 64% of fatty acids ranging from 4 to 26 carbon atoms. Fat contain considerable amount of short chain fatty acids which gives a characteristic flavor and off flavor. Due to their low melting point, that is minus 0 to 12 degrees Celsius, they give soft solid consistency to butter. Saturated fatty acids account for butyric acids and cupric acid 62% and unsaturated fat of 30 to 37%. Of the unsaturated fatty acid, 3.8% which constitute polyunsaturated fatty acids. Other lipid material present in milk are phospholipids, sterol-free fatty acids, carotenoids and fat-soluble vitamins. Carotenoids are responsible for yellow color of milk. This can be tested by Gerber test. It is used to know the percentage of fat present in foods. Milk fat absorb volatile odor very rapidly. Milk, butter and cream cannot be exposed to strong odor. And the second one is protein. We have two types of protein. One is casein and another one is whey protein. Casein is nothing but the solid component in the milk, we call it as casein. Whey protein, after removing of casein, the liquid water, what we call it as is whey protein. Casein constitute 80% of total nitrogen in milk. It can be precipitated on the acidification of milk at the pH of 4.6 at 20 degrees Celsius. The remaining whey protein constitute lactoglobulin and lactoalbumin. Milk protein contains protease, peptones and milk enzymes. Milk fat is composed mainly of triglycerides which are present in emulsion in which the globules are stabilized by a surrounding membrane composed of protein, phospholipid and cholesterol. The fat globules also contain small amount of cholesterol ester and fat soluble vitamins, provitamins namely A, D and beta carotene. Casein is classified as a phosphoprotein because of its phosphoric acid that is contained in a molecular structure. At the normal acidity of fresh milk about pH of 6.6, casein is largely combined through the phosphoric acid part of its structure which is known as calcium caseinate. Hence, casein occur in milk or a colloidal protein. It is a complex of calcium phosphate. Casein is also known as glycoprotein. It contains glutamic acid in predominant. Proline, aspartic, leucine, lysine and valine are also present in casein. Casein is a good source of essential amino acid. It contains 8.2% of calcium and 5.6 7% of carbohydrate. Casein can also be separated from milk by addition of renin, an enzyme secreted from the young calf. Next one is whey protein. The image shows the whey protein. The settled one is casein. The liquid one is whey protein. Yeah, whey proteins are made up of lactoalbumin and lactoglobulin, serum albumin, the immunoglobulin, enzymes and protons, peptones. Beta lactoglobulin account for about 50% of total whey protein. These are not precipitated by acid or renin. They can be coagulated by heat. Whey also contain Whey also contains small amount of lactoferrin and serum transferrin by a process involving ultrafiltration. Whey protein concentrate is produced. Whey protein isolates are also produced. It can be given to the lactose intolerance person. Next we move on to the carbohydrate. Milk contains 4 to 5% of carbohydrate. The chief carbohydrate which is present in milk is lactose. Lactose is nothing but it is a disaccharide. Other name for lactose is milk sugar. The sweet taste of milk is due to the presence of lactose in the milk. It is a disaccharide through a trace amount of glucose and galactose and other sugar are also present. Lactose gives and hydrolyzes one molecule of glucose and one molecule of galactose. Lactose has only 1/6 the sweetness of sucrose and 1/3 fourth of its solubility in nature. When milk is eaten, lactose reacts with the protein and it develops a brown color. The development of brown color is due to non-enzymatic browning that is called as non-Maillard reaction. The acid fermentation is used in making butter, cheese and as well as curd. And next one is mineral. Milk contain chloride, phosphate, citrate, sulfate and bicarbonate of sodium, potassium, calcium and magnesium. These salts influence the condition and stability of the protein, especially the calcium fraction. Copper and iron are important in the development of flavor in milk and milk product. In addition to this, milk contains trace elements like zinc, aluminium, molybdenum and iodine. Next one is enzyme. The enzyme found in milk can originate from the mammary glands or may be released by contaminating bacteria. Alkaline phosphatase exists as a lipoprotein and is distributed between the lipid and aqueous phase. This enzyme is inactivated by normal pasteurization procedure and its activity is tested to determine the effectiveness of pasteurization. More than one types of lipase occur in milk. Milk lipase is development of flavor, especially rancidity of the milk. Bacterial lipase is very resistant to heat and can cause a serious quality defect. Lipase may be important in development of desirable flavors in some cheeses. Xanthan oxide occurs in fat globule membrane. It is a conjugated protein complex with FAD, iron and molybdenum. The enzyme degradation of FAD which gives FMN and riboflavin. The riboflavin of milk may thus due to xanthan oxide. Xanthan oxide can catalyze the oxidation of aldehydes which are some of the aroma constitute in fermented dairy products. The enzymes is not denatured by pasteurization. Color. The white color of milk is caused by the reflection of light by colloidal dispersed casein, calcium and phosphorus. Yellowish color of milk is due to presence of carotenoid and riboflavin. Fat-soluble carotenoid are found in milk fat. Riboflavin is a water-soluble vitamin which are visible clearly in whey protein. Next one is flavor and aroma. Milk is slightly sweet because of its lactose content. Flavor sensation in mouth is due to presence of fat, protein and some other salts of calcium phosphate. A slight aroma of fresh milk is produced by a number of low molecular weight compounds such as acetone, acetaldehyde, dimethyl sulfide and short chain fatty acids. Some of the volatile compounds to the flavor of milk are unique to the fat portion of milk. Boiling changes the flavor of fresh milk more than pasteurization. Oxidized flavor can result from the oxidation of phospholipid in milk. Some trace of copper accelerate the development of oxidized flavor. Copper containing equipment is not used in dairies. Some of the polyunsaturated fatty acids are particularly susceptible to auto-oxidation in the presence of oxygen and produce an unpleasant flavor. Substance are produced. Off flavor in milk may be influenced by the health of the cow or the feed that given to the cow or action of bacteria, chemical changes in milk or the absorption of foreign flavor, the milk is drawn. Off flavor also produced when milk is exposed to light. In this reaction, tryptophan and riboflavin may be involved and their content decrease when the off flavor develops. Anything that alter the membrane and permit contact of the lipase with the fat will promote rancidity and off flavor. In cheese making, riboflavin is present in whey since it is a light sensitive vitamin. When milk is exposed to sunlight, 50% of riboflavin is lost. Milk is not a good source of niacin, but it has an excellent source of tryptophan. Milk is a poor source of vitamin C. The amount of vitamin A and D will depends upon the feed of the animal. So these are the composition of milk. Thank you.